hope that you are having a great day. Hold on. Someone was just saying thank you. Got butter chicken. Last night, one of my treats, buttered chicken. So let me get the live stream up and going here on Twitter. Let me share it out. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little sleepy today. It is a rainy day, and yesterday I played Garlic Farmer all over again.
Not gonna lie.
Whoops. Had a lot of fun playing Garlic Farmer, and keep learning and learning and learning. It's really cool though that it's pretty easy, and you end up with garlic. You just put it in the fall, and then in the spring, summer, actually, June, July, once it shows that it's ready, it's time to, hold on one second. Hello? Good, I'm just doing my live stream. My live stream. Yeah. I'm gonna come over soon, and I'm gonna bring the little one with me so that she wants to come too. So we will be, I was gonna call you as soon as I left. So just had some lunch and finishing up, and then I'll come over. Okay? Okay, sounds good. Okay, bye-bye. All right, guys, sorry about that. Busy. Let's get the market up. Hey, Terry. You're all sleepy. All right, but the market isn't sleepy, right? The SPY is moving to new highs. We had Evergrande that paid for their, what was it, 85 million US dollar bond payment that happened last Thursday. So if we look at it, here was Thursday, we were testing, and then the payment went through, and boom, we shot up to new highs. Hey, Troy. And now we are breaking out to new highs on the S&P 500. We have some descending volume here. Let's also go over here to the fear and greed indicator, right? This is a good one to check. What's going on? Is the market super greedy right now? Ooh, we're starting to get greedy, right? Typically, this is going to be an inverse indicator. When the market is topping out, it will tend to show us that, hey, this is something to pay attention to. I also put this up on my Twitter. Hold on, let me grab it really quickly, and I will open up the website for you guys right here, that the Treasury market is becoming distorted with bonds, right? So the bonds, Bank of America Fund Manager Survey showed something not entirely unexpected, that the bonds are hitting negative 80, which is the most pessimistic outlook for bonds in history, right? So when we see this, this is something to pay attention to. This is the most pessimistic people have been on bonds. Why? Well, the US was in default, right? Every year come October, they have a debt budget meeting that they want to talk about how are we going to solve this. We need to extend the debt ceiling. And right now, this is really, moving the sentiment to the downside. Yet, they are pumping right here that the indexes, the stocks are amazing, right? That everybody needs to get in on them. Junk bonds, this according to this is saying extreme greed. Put and call options, extreme greed, extreme greed, extreme greed. Market volatility neutral. Stock price strength, extreme fear, right? How did it go from fear of May 20th? Now it's at extreme fear, right? Extreme greed over time. When we look at what happened beginning of 2020, hey, that was extreme greed. Are we heading there in the next week to extreme greed? Every time we hit highs, that leads for potential for all of the markets, everything to say, hey, this is moving to the upside. Let's look at Barron's market. Let's look at the cover story. It looks like they are talking about Bitcoin today. Bitcoin goes mainstream. Well, did you know that XRP is actually being used in 17 countries already as a currency? Bitcoin as well. However, Bitcoin is very cumbersome to send back and forth, right? So it's flashing. It looks like, hey, this is neon. This is the hot thing at the moment. It's blue instead of yellow, right? Usually we see that yellow for Bitcoin. I don't know why it's blue on the cover. But maybe it's as simple as turning out that light switch and that Bitcoin goes dark, right? I don't know. Apple's ad rules spook tech stocks, right? That's what the cover says right there. Decimated. Yeah, you know what, Bad Scientist? I personally think that we are topping out, right? Like as we see it right now, we're hitting a top out. We're seeing the volume descend. This is a little bit of a gravestone doji if it continues down here. We have surged higher. Is today the day that we're going to see a major drop down? I don't think so. Potentially on Thursday, we might see a nice bullish continuation for this week going into Thursday, and then a bit of a sell-off. When we look at the calendar, right, we have no announcements today, which is kind of interesting, right? We have consumer confidence tomorrow, new home sales. This might be interesting, especially in light, Evergrande is one of four different real estate companies in China. I did post that this morning too. I was up really early, like 5 o'clock in the morning. And I think I posted it right here. Yeah, let's pull this up. Oh, I totally misspelled real estate when I posted that. That's really funny. That Evergrande is really just one of multiple real estate companies that are setting up to fail, right? So there's Evergrande, there's Fantasia. They failed to pay a bond October 4th. Also, we have China Property Groups that originally I think they were setting up to delay their payment, and then they actually filed saying, no, you know what, we're really going to file and say that we are actually running out of money, right? Oh no, this is the one they're pumping money into it, excuse me. It is, maybe it's this one right here, Greenland, that had a default. So check out that article on Twitter. It's got some good stuff in it, and we will see where we go. We still have, the U.S. put a Band-Aid fix again on the debt ceiling, and look at that, how we hit 378, almost to the penny, 377.99, and it pulled back. Right? We have the resistance over here on the left-hand side. Maybe we're going to come up here and test over 379.40 and then a bit of a rollover, but I feel like we might find a resistance up here. The Russell as well, moving to the upside today, testing 230. When we have 232.50, to me, is that breakout zone. So maybe they are taking it up. We again are seeing on the daily chart here, we have some descending volume as we are moving up. That is divergence, right? So this does not always end well. When we have divergence with price action, whether it's RSI, whether it's volume, when they're not in congruence traveling together, many times it will end up in a slowdown and a reversal. So looking at that, really paying attention. Hey, our RSI is moving up. We have the awesome indicator. Finally, it looks like maybe a little bit of money is coming into the index, but we've been such a downward trend and we've been trading sideways since February, almost 8 months out of the year. All right, and then Dow Jones. This is the most heavily manipulated with 30 stocks in the index, and that screamed up to new highs. Last time we dropped down just below the 161 EMA right here. So looking to see, is that going to happen again? Are we going to drop back down below 339.68? Potentially, right? What happens? I don't know. We could just see what happens. So let's look at my list for today. Here it is over here. We've got the SPY, fun, right? I was watching DWAC again today, up on the upside, fun, just setting up. You can see that this support really held for quite a while, and now we have a bit of an H setup. So looking to see maybe down to 640 right here. I don't anticipate that that would drop all the way back down, but I would look for that move down to 640 from here. That would be my target. Tesla screaming higher. I did mention this before, that if Tesla broke out of the downward trend, that we might see this up to 1200. And Tesla is a faster mover. This is helping to really lift the S&P 500 up, because this is one of the top 4 now in the S&P 500 index. So seeing this major gain of 9% is really helping to draw the SPY index, ETF up. PayPal as well today gapped up, and we hit the moving averages, and it looks like it's kind of stuck between the two, but it did provide a little short opportunity, $5 to the downside right here. So nice one if you caught that. I do map out my trades. If you guys want to try out my list, you can go to cjanetrade.com and use welcome to save 10%, excuse me. And if you guys want to learn more about trading around the dark pool, come over to thedarkpools.com and check out the training pit. We have multiple webinars, almost 2 webinars every day. We have 9 a week, right? So that's 9 over 4 weeks. You're looking at 36 webinars a month. So you're going to get a lot of information there. PayPal fell to the downward side. Fuel cell, a little bit of sideways price action today, not too crazy. CLF continued the move to the upside today. This one has been screaming higher and continued that move up. Look, you see how it had resistance and then it broke through, boom, off it went. Now we have a new resistance up here, roughly 25.40. Is it going to pull back and then shoot higher for another move to the upside? We might see that. We might see it move on up, potentially test 25.50 and then up to this 26 level. Facebook today has moved up a little bit to the upside, but not that much, really sort of range bound there. Netflix has had a bigger drop with the indexes earlier this morning and then a big bounce. Today has been kind of volatile today. Then we had CrowdStrike. That had a drop like the indexes early in the morning and then a bounce, and now we're just sort of coming in that little slow downward trend here. You can see we have a bit of a downward trend, just hitting the moving averages 21 EMA right here. All right, let's look at Home Depot. So Home Depot surging higher, right? Just like the prices with inflation, that's going to increase their sales as they pass that price on to consumers. 365.50. Hello, everything's monetizable. Welcome, welcome. This is moving up. You can see, hey, we hit a resistance right around 368.50, pulled back, test, move up, pull back, test, move up, and now it's slowing, right? What's the volume doing? Dropping. Good time to potentially lock some profits, in my opinion, if I was in this for a day trade. Workday as well, shot up. Looks like it squeezed some shorts and then pulled back. Look at that, how that acted as support. My resistance line then flipped and created a support. Let's look at Snap. If you guys have other ones you want to check out, let's look at them. I do have to go. As you guys heard, I had the telephone call. I'm meeting with someone this afternoon. So earnings happened. Snap was decimated after earnings. And as you see, bad scientists, what day was that after earnings that it was decimated? Can you tell me? I'll give you a second. It was day 2, right? So watch that. If you see a big downward day, then watch day 2. Many times you'll see a bigger move on day 2. Okay, let's look at PBTS. All right, PBTS. Oh, Friday. No, but in relation to earnings, it was day 2 after earnings, right? Not the first day, but the second. So PBTS, it looks like this one, is this lower float? Yeah, 40 million. So this one bounced up, hit the moving averages. It hit a lot of moving averages up here on the daily chart. Hi, Shar. Welcome. And then it came down and it's bounced off of the 50. So it looks like it's kind of stuck here. So I would look to see, hey, it needs to either break out up above 150 or else it's likely going to come back down and test that 130 area over here. All right, let's look at EDU. All right, EDU. We are holding the 21 EMA over here. Let's look at it on the daily chart. But you can see it's range bound, up, down, up, down, up. If this does reverse here and then move up a little bit, it looks like it's holding the 20 and the 50 simple moving average as support over here, then I would say, hey, this is a truncated rectangle and it's showing that it wants to move to the upside based on the fact that it did not continue the downward move to the same extent, right? All right, let's look at NUE. All right, looks like right here you can see it tested here as support numerous times. We bounced off of this numerous times. It's now testing the 50 simple moving average. If it can break out with a close up above 108, looks like this could be setting up to go to higher highs in my opinion. We do have that volume dropping off after earnings, so it might pull back down roughly to 104.50 and then surge again. So it might be about a 3-day wait before this one does break out, or it could move to the upside. Yeah, are you talking about new? This does have a nice little W and breakout, but we've got this moving average right here. So this might cause some resistance and then a bit of a test, bounce off of these right here, and then move up and move through. Are there a lot of sellers here that want to sell it on this 50 simple moving average? How long was it below the 50 simple moving average? It's been below the 50 simple moving average since right here. Since September 17th. So we also sort of have an inverted head and shoulders. It never came back down over here. You see like a shoulder, head, shoulder, sort of truncated. So I personally would wait for the bigger close above 108 in my opinion. All right. Yeah, potentially. All right, let's look at some cryptos too. Crypto space is really moving. And if you guys did not see it as well, I did do a, let's see, I'll bring up my Instagram. You guys can see that. And caution, because there's so many scammers out there that use my profile. It's really frustrating. And I'm sorry to anybody that has been scammed by it, but it's not me, right? Let's see. Oh, you know what? I'll do it later. But in any event, I did do a mom goal podcast. Oh, you know what? I could just go to Linktree. .tr.ee. Whoops. /momgoal. I think that's all we need. There we go. All right. So check out my podcast that I did for the ladies at Mongol. You can listen to it anywhere. Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, all about the upcoming banking changes. They do 15-minute podcasts as moms. We don't always have time. So it's 3 different topics, 15 minutes, but you guys want to check out this week's for sure. It will really enlighten you about where the banks are going, right? And what we could see starting as quickly as November. So please, please, please check it out, and then follow up to that as to how you could potentially position yourselves, in my opinion, to prepare yourselves for it. So just go to Linktree/momgoal. Let's see if I can move this down, actually. There, you guys can see it right there, Linktree/momgoal. And that will get you to this so that you guys can listen to that. Quick 15 minutes. If you're stuck in traffic, turn it on. All right, so we've got that going on, and let's look at crypto really quickly. Let's check out my chosen select few. So right now, Algo is doing well. Uh-oh, I think my little one is on her way. She wants to see what's going on. So Algo right here is just a minute, love. I'll be done very shortly. Have this set up. My potential target, I would look for 245, and then on up to $3.09 right here. IOTA as well. Big, big, big volume. Look at that big volume coming in today, right? We're about to test the 50 simple moving average. Yes, you can. Can you wait until mommy's done, please, love? Thank you. All right. Then we have XLM also setting up for a big move. Look, heading on up. We could be breaking up to over $1. Right? Based on the fib extension move here. All right, A lot of stuff's going on. So I'm going to wrap it up really quickly over here. We'll look at Bitcoin as well. So here we have Cardano as well, sort of hanging out. I'm going to move this over here, down here, since this is our bottom spike. And right now I would look for that really to close up above 225 before I would start a position. However, I'm already in on this one. Sure. And XDC, this is a one I've been in long term as well. It did just breach the 161. So I'm not liking that. But I've been in it since 5.5 cents, so I'm still holding on to my position. I can't be upset based on the gains I've already had. And my baby Dogecoin, this is still grinding sideways right here. It looks like positioning sideways. We have this bigger volume day, so looking to see if we're going to break out here. Let's set an alert, crossing up over there. I think that's 8 zeros and then 1695. Dogecoin as well hit the 200 simple moving average, pulled back, and could, I'm liking this one to continue, right? Let's see, where's this? Let's move this down here. I like 79 and then on up to 89 cents. Hello from Toronto. Your price target for CLSK for the end of the year. Well, let's look here. Let's look at it. And then we'll look at Bitcoin really quickly. So this is grinding higher nicely. So let's look at it on the weekly. I would like to look at it on the weekly to see if there's anything really in the way. And right now, as long as it clears $20.30, we are out of the moving average congestion, right? This does look like it had volume step into it back here, all the way back May of 2020. You got to think about what was going on too. I don't know, is this in relation to cleaning things with Clean Spark? Is this in relation to the pandemic and stuff? Yeah, sure. All of my cryptos I'm holding longer term. Right? These are all ones in relation to that podcast that I was talking about. Listen to the podcast, you'll know why. This had volume step into it, right? This is April, end of April. This was everything happening with the pandemic. So is this pandemic related movement? I also see on a bigger time frame that this also has a bit of an inverted head and shoulders. Do you guys see this? So if we look at it here, we have a shoulder, head, and a shoulder, right? This is a little bit higher than this one right here. And I would look at, this is how things stand out in my mind, right? If we can break above 34.40, then the depth of 88 cents to 34.40, let's do it like this. So we go from 34.40 right here, 34.50. So we bring it down, 33.25. So we move it up to 33.25. Now I'm not saying by the end of the year, but I'm just saying this would be my target longer term, would be roughly $67. All right, is that good? Iqbal? I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. So that's what I would look at for that. Let's check out Bitcoin and Ethereum really quickly. Let's look at those two. I can hear some singing going on. Oops, not that. Oh, in the other room. Oh, look at that. I put a target and it broke above it. I wonder, did it really break above it? Yeah, it did. Thanks, guys. Whoever just bought it and shot it up above. All right, so let's look at other way around. Let's flip this around. Yeah, my pleasure. But that's long term. Remember, that's a monthly chart that I was looking at. So that would be long-term patience. All right, so Ethereum, this is 15 minutes. We want to look at it on the 24-hour chart. We are setting up, testing the highs. We did break out of the resistance that we'd set up back here. What's going on with the volume in the past couple days? It is dropping down a little bit. Remember that we also had a bunch of ETFs, including Ethereum, including Bitcoin, that are then also buying into these. So that can also drive the demand up, much like we saw with Tesla being put into, yeah, there. Much like we saw when Tesla was being added into the S&P 500. All right, so here we are close to testing the highs again. Are we going to make it all the way up, or are we going to fail, right? The volume is not moving as high as we have this momentum to the upside. Here we had the momentum moving up, volume, price and volume going up. Now we have it dropping as it was dropping. So watch that volume as well. What's going on with all of that volume? All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. If you guys like the live stream, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on those notifications, share with your friends, free education. Check out the Momgul, MOMGUL podcast. Hey, Julio, just wrapping it up for today. And yes, Solana is moving up nicely as well. However, I've not read the white paper, so I can only talk about what I have done my research on. So have an amazing rest of your day. I'm off to go and help somebody else. Have a great one. Carpe profit, seize those profits. One traded.